What is going on YouTube? Taylor here from OA Cheddar, and in today's video we're going to be talking about one of my favorite tools, and that is the Revseller profit calculator. Revseller is probably our second if not third most used tool in our Amazon FBA business, and that is because it makes finding out potential profit and other valuable information a breeze. In this video we are going to be doing a overview of the entire calculator, going over some important settings, and if you are one that likes to do their own sourcing or you have a team, the feature I show you around the end of this video is going to save you a ton of time. Before we dive into that, this video is brought to you by the new Cheddarsoft lead and order management tool. Cheddarsoft is an all-in-one FBA business in a box. It allows you to store your lead data that you get from lead lists, tactical arbitrage, or your own lead generating efforts into a smart database that you can easily sift and search and sort through to find those leads at a later date, as well as an order management tool that helps you create a buy list, figure out your buy cost, and track your orders so you know whether or not an order has been received, returned for a refund, or sent off into FBA. If you'd like to know more about Cheddarsoft and take advantage of the 30-day free trial that is going on right now, click the link in the description below and go ahead and sign up for an account. Enough with all that, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into my computer and get started. All right, everyone, I am back in my computer and I am on the Revseller homepage. If you go to revseller.com, you will see a website that looks just like this, giving you more information of the Revseller calculator and how it works, as well as pricing. As of right now, Revseller is doing a 30-day free trial for their calculator, and then after that 30-day free trial is up, it is going to cost you basically $100 a year. Guys, I'll tell you right now, it's totally worth it. This is probably our second if not third most used tool in our Amazon FBA business. It just makes things super simple. Not only is it a profit calculator, but it does a few more things other than that. And so let's just go ahead and dive into the calculator and we can start talking about how it works. If you're looking at an Amazon listing and you have Revseller installed, you will have this widget that pops up right below the title of the Amazon listing. Now in this widget, there's just a few things that you're going to use more often than not, and the main part is going to be right here, where you're going to enter in your buy cost and also your selling price, and it will spit you out what your estimated net profit is, as well as your estimated ROI. To change those things, you can come in here and you can just type in any number that you would like or whatever you're purchasing the item for, and it will change the net profit and the ROI to reflect based off of whatever your selling price is. So you have your FBA side of the calculator, and then you have your merchant fulfill side of the calculator. Both will reflect the same selling price. So if I change one selling price on one side, it will change that selling price on the other. Likewise, with your buy cost, you'd have the same thing that would happen. Now, how does this calculator work? Well, what it does, and if you want to ever look at how the fee structure is broken down, next to the net profit price, if you just hover over that right there, you will open up your fee breakdown. And so what it's doing is taking whatever selling price you are telling it. So for instance, right now it's set to $36. It will take the referral fee that Amazon charges, or 15%. It will also take out the fulfillment fee. So this is to sell your product via FBA. If you have any other cost put into your settings, it will also deduct that from the in the free fee breakdown. This is great if you like to record how much you pay for, say, poly bags or any type of shipping materials. You could come in here and you could set up a fixed cost that will deduct from each item that you're looking at, so you have a very realistic number as to how much does it cost you to actually ship this product into Amazon. And we'll go over the settings here in a little bit, but let's just keep plowing forward. And then it'll take out your buy costs and then what your estimated cost to ship this item to FBA based on the weight of the item. And then from there, it will just take your total fee breakdown minus that from the selling price, and that is going to give you your net profit, your estimated ROI, and as well as your net profit margin. When it comes to merchant fulfill, same things. It will take out the 15% referral fee, but then it will take out an estimated amount to ship to the customer, again, based off of weight. So keep in mind dimensions and other things like that may affect the shipping cost, but what Revseller is doing is using weight to judge the shipping cost. There is a USPS zone that you will want to set. I recommend always setting yours up to zone 8. It will essentially cover all of the United States, but we'll dive into that once we talk about the settings. Again, just like with FBA, you have a miscellaneous or a other cost. This is where you tell Revseller, hey, it's going to cost me an extra $1.50 because I have to prep and pack up these boxes, and the boxes cost money. So in my Revseller, I have a $1.50 added to all my merchant fulfill offers or merchant fulfilled pricing breakdowns to reflect things like maybe additional shipping costs, but most likely it's going to be shipping materials and things like that. And then it'll take your buy cost, and that will figure out what your total expenses are with all those numbers, which will kick you out that final total fees/expenses. Take that, minus that from the selling price, and that's where you'll get your net profit, ROI, and profit margin. Once your settings are set up, that's the main purpose of what you'll be using this calculator for, is just to figure out your estimated net profit and ROIs. But let's keep going into all the nice little things that Revseller does that really helps you out. Down below, you'll have a displayed amount for whatever the low FBM or merchant fulfill offer is. And if you select that, it will change your selling price to reflect and match up with whatever the current low merchant fulfill price is. Same thing with low FBA. Whatever the low FBA is, Revseller will display that for you. If you select it, it will change your selling price to match up with whatever the low FBA is. If there is a buy box, and you can see on this listing, there is no buy box available, it would normally tell you what the buy box price is. If Amazon is selling the product, it will also tell you what Amazon is. And then it will also tell you how many offers are within the low FBA offer. So as of right now, it is telling me that there is one within 3% of the lowest priced FBA price. And then moving on over to the right, you will have things like the ASINs. So you'll have this one showing you a parent ASIN. If you were looking at a pair of shoes or a clothing item or any product listing that has multiple variations with it, right below this, it would also tell you the ASIN, which is the specific child ASIN of the product that you are looking at. It will then tell you the weight of the item based off of Amazon, whatever Amazon's saying, hey, this item weighs X amount. So for this one, it's 3.2 ounces. So it will tell you that information right there. Any type of prep that you need to do. Now, I would have to log into Seller Central to get some accurate information as far as, do I need a poly bag or does this need to be bubble wrap? And then over to the right, it will tell you how big this item is, if there's going to be extra surcharges based off of size. These are all estimates, and then all that information is gathered from the product details portion of the Amazon listing. Next, down below, you will have your dimensions. So again, this is great, especially if you are merchant fulfilling a product, or if you're looking at FBA and you say, well, this doesn't make sense. If I'm buying something for $10 and selling it for $30, shouldn't I also be making around $10 profit? And maybe you're looking at a net profit of like $3 or $4. You can come over here and you can see what dimensions and what weight is Revseller using to get this net profit. And you might find an anomaly where the product weight is way higher than what the product actually is, because there was a mistake, and then the product details, there is a mismatch when it comes to the weight and the size that needs to be adjusted. So it is nice for Revseller to display that for you, so that way you can catch those type of anomalies without having to scroll down through the page. Next, you'll have things like model number. Model number will show up if that is available. This is really great when it comes to matching up the Amazon listing to wherever you are purchasing to make sure you have a match. Same thing with the UPC. Revseller will display a UPC for you to look at. Keep in mind, sometimes you'll have multiple UPCs attached to the same product listing. This could be older UPCs, so don't assume that Revseller is showing you the only UPC available to this product listing. There may be another one attached to this product listing, and you just have to scroll down to the product details portion of the Amazon listing to view that type of information. And then below that is something new that has happened with the rising gas prices. Amazon is charging an extra 5% fulfillment fee surcharge for fuel costs. And so Revseller is quick with these updates. They went ahead and added that in. I could deselect that if I wanted to. I'm going to leave it selected because that is going to reflect the new surcharge that Amazon is charging right now because of gas prices and inflation being so high. All right, now moving on up to the settings. Up in the upper bar here, you'll have settings. You'll have links to Keepa, Camel, the Amazon profit calculator, and any other links that you might want to look up. Things like Google UPC, so it will search the UPC code on Google or the title for the first 6 words on Google, as well as things like on Amazon, Walmart, eBay. This is great when you're sourcing. If you want to see, hey, can I purchase this somewhere else? You could Google title search the first 6 words, and then you could start scrolling through on Google and seeing, is there another place that I can purchase this product from? And you can actually set up your own links to the Revseller calculator, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a little bit. Also, as well as taking you to the most recent reviews, the top reviews, all that kind of good stuff. My favorite thing here is going into the settings. Now in the settings, you'll have your 2 sections. You have your merchant fulfill section over on the left and the FBA section over here on the right. And in the top portion here is where you'll be setting up things like your ship to FBA price. How much do I get charged per pound when I am sending my product into Amazon? Now, basic rule of thumb is to say about 50 cents per pound is what you should be getting, having set up inside your profit calculator when you're talking about shipping into Amazon FBA. But you may live in a place that is more remote, or maybe you live in the upper corners of the country, and so you're paying a little bit more. Maybe you might want to put this to 60 cents. You can just change that right here. My rule is try to set your ship to FBA price a little higher than what it probably really is. It gives you a little room for insurance. Better to overshoot than to miss the mark. And then down here below, you'll have things like using the grader of dimensional and actual weight. So if you want to know more about this, just hover over these little eyes and it will tell you what does this mean. You have your other costs here. So this is miscellaneous. So you could add things like, hey, I want to add in an extra $1 of expenses for those unexpected things that pop up. You can do so right there, and it will add that in as a miscellaneous fee. Down here, when it talks about your storage fees, you can select how many months you want to assume the storage fee is going to be. So if you know that your products on average are selling within a 2-month range, you might want to set your storage fees up to 2 months. Us personally, we like to try to push everything out within 30 days, and we're pretty successful with it. So we leave our storage fee to only 1 month. So coming over here to merchant fulfill. So we have our shipping revenue. This is in case you charge for shipping. If you are charging an extra amount, so say you have a flat fee of $2 for each one of your products that are purchased from you as a merchant fulfill, you could add that in here, and it will take that into consideration when it comes to breaking down your fees, that you do charge an extra amount for shipping. Us personally, we always offer free shipping because it makes our offer more enticing and super simple for the customer. And then the other costs, again, this is where you can add things like, hey, how much does it cost me on average for shipping materials, or do I have a shipper that I'm paying an hourly wage? You can really factor in your pricing in your calculator to represent what it actually costs you in your business. For us, I like to use $1.50, keep it super simple, and I just set that up for all my merchant fulfill offers. And then down below that, you'll have merchant fulfill shipping estimate. So you can price this by the pound. So if you know that, hey, you know what, on average, I'm paying about, say, $2 to $3 per pound for shipping, you can set that up, your shipping rate based off of the weight. If you only use flat rate mailers, and or you want to just say, hey, on average in my business, I spend an average of $5 for shipping no matter what the item is, and you want to factor it in using a flat rate, you can. Me personally, I like to use the USPS. What this does is it will give you an estimate based off of shipping zones from the United States Postal Service. A shipping zone essentially covers a certain distance that the package will travel. And if you are like me and you are living in the coast, like I'm over here in Washington State, I don't get to normally ship my products using any other zone other than 8, which is the largest distance that you can ship a product from using the Postal Service, and it covers the entire United States. So if you want to be safe, set your shipping zone to zone 8, and it should be estimating your shipping costs pretty accurately. If anything, it might be cheaper than what you are expecting it to be. And then down below here, you can have things like your buy cost sales tax. So if you live in a state where you are paying sales tax on the products that you are purchasing, and you want that factored into your price breakdown when you are looking at a product, you can do that right here. So for me, I live in Washington State, and in the city and county that I live in, I pay on average of 8.4% in sales tax. I could set that up and I could have that be part of my fee breakdown so I have accurate numbers when I am looking at a product. That being said, we don't do that in our own business. Either I am getting tax free from certain sources, or maybe I utilize a prep center. Just with our experience, I like to keep this zero because it makes it super simple. And then down below, you guys, I was talking about how you can set up these different links up here in the top. And you can see right here, I have two. These are usually defaults. You have camel, 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 and keepa.com. You can add an extension to this. I'm not sure exactly what you'd use, but say you have a tool, say we want to just use Google, and we would then add in our URL for Google. Now you can see here on these other ones that you have this URL that will take in the product and then ASIN, and it will give you instructions up top on how to set up a custom link from the calculator. But if there is a website that you use that you want to make sure that you're using when you're checking a product, you can go ahead and set up a link directly to there to where it will pull up and search that ASIN inside of whatever website you have set up. And then down here below are some more settings that you just want to read through and check to make sure that everything looks good. You can change the position of where this pop out comes if you want it on the left or if you want it on the right, just little things like that. So go through these settings, guys, and make sure you have them set up to where it fits. Again, utilize those little gray eyes when you are not sure of what a certain setting is. It will give you more information. And then going down through here, you have restrictions for hazmat. So if you want to make sure that Revseller is checking for hazmat in a product, you just want to make sure that box is checked. For restricted products, you also want to make sure that's checked. So again, you want to make sure these are set up to fit your business. For the graph, you can show a range. If I say automatically show graph, it'll automatically show graph. And so I'll leave that setting turned on so we can take a look at what that is. Again, go through here, make sure the settings are set up the way you like. Variation viewer, you can do the same thing as well. Variation viewer is a portion of Revseller that will show you information on child products of a Amazon listing. So if you're looking at a size 9 shoe and you're curious to see what the size 12 looks like, you can get some stats from that variation viewer. And the last thing here is copy and export. And I'm going to actually pause and we'll take a look at this in a little bit. I'm just going to scroll back up to the calculator and go back from my settings. And you can see here now that that's set up, I have a little sales rank graph. Looks very similar to Keepa, probably powered by Keepa. But from here, you can look at what a 1 year, 90 day, 30 day price history and sales rank data on this product as well. So you could really make almost a buying decision just from looking at your Revseller calculator like so. If you want to log into your Seller Central account, in the upper right corner is where you would do that. You just click that button. It takes you over to your logins and you just sign into your Seller Central account. And then if you are logged in, you'll see things over to the left of this like hazmat and restricted. If you're looking at a restricted or a hazmat product, it will show you in a red font that, hey, this product is restricted, or hey, this product is hazmat. So now going down to the bottom right hand corner, we have 4 little icons down here below that are pretty powerful. First one is this little box with the arrows. If you want to take the Revseller calculator with you as you scroll down through the product listing, you can do that. And then if you want to go back to the top of the page, you just hit that button again and it'll take you back over to the top of the page. And then you have your settings for export. And so before I open that up, let me just talk about exporting. If I want to export this data, I can download it into an Excel file, and you can see down below that it is going to export all the data from this Revseller calculator or whatever the information Revseller is gathering, and it will put that in a spreadsheet. But my favorite here is this copy and paste button. So if I copy and paste this, I hit this button, it copies certain information that I want, and only information that I want, not the excess stuff that I don't really care about. So let me show you what I mean by that. I hit the copy button, and then I come over here to my spreadsheet. Say I'm doing rabbit trail sourcing and I'm just looking through and I find a product that I like. I can then just hit that copy button, paste it, and you will see here that it pastes only the information that I have up here in my header. Now I set this up to fit exactly what I was looking for. I want it set up this way because this is what I'm going to use to upload into Cheddarsoft after I'm done doing my rabbit trail sourcing. I would upload a file very similar to this. What we want to do, if you are wanting to set up that copy and paste function, you want to come over here to the export features settings. And then from here, you will have all these different pieces of information that you can then set up. So if you look over here in my included section, I have today's date. I then have an empty field. That is what I'm using for my source URL on my spreadsheet right here. You can see here that this spot is blank. And then I have my ASIN, the Amazon product URL, so the link to the Amazon listing, the product title, and then I have my buy cost. Next, I have like my low FBA, net profit, ROI, rank category, and there's so much more. If I want to add in, so say I wanted to add in the 90-day average rank, I just select and drag this over. And depending on the order that I have this in is going to be the order that is going to paste from left to right. So top to bottom equals left to right when you're copying and pasting. So you can come in here and you can set this up for exactly how you like it. I find this to be super helpful. So if I'm, again, sourcing, I find a product, I say, hey, let me check the price. Hey, price checks out. You know, I go down and I look at Keepa and I say, you know what, I like this Keepa graph. I want to record this item so I can purchase it later. I'm going to then come over here because I already have my copy data and export button. I can just select that. It copies that data. I come over here to my worksheet and then I just paste that in. And you can see I've pasted in the product, all the information, including my buy cost. And the only thing I'm missing is the source link. So then I would come over here to my source website, copy this, and now I have a recorded lead that I am going to then take and upload into Cheddarsoft. So then I can then take this file, say you have a team member who's going through and they're doing rabbit trails for you. This is an easy way for them to quickly build a lead list that you will then upload into Cheddarsoft by simply clicking the copy button in the bottom right hand corner of Revseller, and that way you know the information is accurate, everything matches up. They don't have to take all the time to copy and paste the title and the Amazon link and all that good stuff right there. Other than that, guys, it's going to wrap it up for this brief tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. We'll be happy to answer those questions for you. If you want to know more about who we are, you can go over to software.oacheddar.com and it will pull up our website where you can learn more about Cheddarsoft and the powerful tool that it is. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one.